It's called order. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Ayer. Here. Ms. Brown Knight.
Here.
Dr. Lewis.
Here.
Mrs. Stock.
Here.
Mr. Van Stone.
Here.
Mrs. Wells.
Here.
No. All right. All right. It looks like we're going to give somebody a promotion here in a minute, huh?
So,
All right. Do you want to give us the information?
sir. Mr. Mayor, members of council, I am presenting Officer Patrick Poole for consideration of removal off a probationary officer to a regular employee status. Officer Poole was hired by our department on February 9th, 2025 as a patrol officer. He started his career in law enforcement in 2007 with New Richmond, where he served for 7 years. He served 3 years as patrol officer in the village of Amelia. He came to us from the Batavia Police Department, where he served for 7 years. He's a graduate of Bonesi High School and holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from the University of Cincinnati. He has one daughter who he raised with his wife, Carrie. Officer Poole is doing a great job for us. He's a huge asset to our agency. And it is my recommendation that Officer Poole be moved to regular employee status.
All right. Thank you. Officer Cool, you want to stand up? We need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
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 A lot of seconds in there. All right, Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye, aye.
Mrs. Stock.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mrs. Wells.
Aye.
All right, you're on.
Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
Congratulations.
Okay, any question regarding the minutes? That would be the minutes, obviously, from the January 26th meeting.
No, I don't know.
No? No questions? We all good? Motion and a second to accept.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Stock.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mrs. Wells.
Aye.
All right. Okay, in communications, we have a little brief, teeny bit of an update here. Hey, guys, it's just getting good.
Come on, man.
They've got to protect the village.
What about protecting us?
All right. We have a brief little thing here from Independent, regarding the Mariemont Theater. I know some of you were probably here was it last week or the week before, when we gave a little presentation, about the transition that's going to be happening at the theater. Does anybody have any questions about that?
The note to come up.
Oh, could you stand up and tell us your name, please? Please.
Yes, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the chance to speak. My name is Ian Schieffer. I'm a Mariemont of 04 graduate, and I am lucky enough to be one of the curators of Secret Base Cinema, one of the people that programs movies here at the Mariemont Theater. There has been a lot of concern about the transition as it's taking place, specifically with regards to who is taking it over. Their message has been one of inclusion and that the community has been involved and asking other curators in the community. As me and my partner are what I would say the premier curators in town with 85 films shown since the pandemic, that has not been the case. And I just I want to get as much as I can info on the transition of that, as well as to just genuinely warn my fellow village members that I do not believe these to be the appropriate people to handle such a historic property. I don't think that they understand the delicate economy that comes with a small historic village like Mariemont. We're like so few out there in this planned community, And it is my concern that they might be telling one thing but not able to deliver on another. I don't have too much terrible more to say beyond that, other than to please do the diligence on this. Please consider other people in town, and to also consider that many in the wider Cincinnati film community do not support Independent or their move to do this. There have been people that have pulled out of their projects numerously over the years, and I'm not going to get into gossip beyond that, but other than just a general warning to everyone to please consider this very carefully moving forward.
All right,
Thank you very much.
All right, from Tax Administrator Barlow, you have his report. If you have any questions, you can contact Chuck directly. I assume there's no questions. And we have a spending request here from Ben regarding some salt. We've been using a lot of salt. We need to replenish some of that. Looks like we're going to be sharing some with Terrace Park. Any questions regarding this? Well, if not, a motion and a second to accept it.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Mr. Ayer?
Aye.
Brown Knight?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Stock?
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone?
Aye.
Mrs. Wells?
Aye.
All right. Looks like we're going to load up on the salt. All right, I know I jumped the gun here just a teeny bit because I didn't anticipate that we would have somebody wishing to respond to this independent. Does anyone else wish to address council?
Yes.
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 Thank you for your time. I just wanted to.
State your
My
name,
name.
please.
My name's Dave Sprocket,
Could you spell that, please?
SPROCKETT.
Okay, thank you.
I just wanted to voice my concerns to the council over the Flock ALPR cameras that were installed sometime last year. If you're not familiar, these are cameras that have a computer vision algorithm that tracks and logs all traffic going past them. And then that data is then shared in a larger database among all municipalities that have the Flock system installed. There's been a lot of reporting in the past year of just how insecure these systems are. One Motorola system was found to have at least 60 cameras connected to the open internet and having just full live feeds that people could find if they knew the right URL to go to. There's also been several calls for investigation by the FTC, by several lawmakers, as these camera systems are not actually forcing two-factor authentication to get into those systems. The way these systems work, a bad actor could easily track someone's movements from place to place, find out when they're home and when they're not. And I would ask that the council consider, at the very least, removing Mariemont's data sets from the larger network, because we can obviously control who is in Mariemont PD accessing this information, but when it comes to Cincinnati PD or anywhere across the country, those things are not under our control. So at the very least, having to have someone call our police department and have them look it up would be at least somewhat more secure.
Lieutenant Bisley, do you have any comment about this?
I mean, from our end, rest assured that, it's as secure as it can be. As far as on the Flock side of things and people being able to break into it, I haven't personally read anything about it, but I'll definitely look into it and see if there's anything, on our end we can do better to ensure the security.
Does it require two-factor authentication?
I believe it does. Yeah, I don't personally have it on my phone, but Sergeant Tracy's kind of in charge of that, so he's kind of the one that would speak to that.
I'll speak additionally to the chief about it. I have to be honest and say, I mean, it's not an area that I know a great deal about. I mean, I know why they're there and what they're there for, but how, even I personally I have no idea how to access it. It's not something that I would do or could do. But like I said, I'll mention it to the chief. Lieutenant Pitsley and I can talk to the chief additionally to see if there should be a security issue. But it sounds to me as though your concern goes well beyond the boundaries of Mariemont.
Well, yes and no. So securing art, looking at the cameras and where they're placed, it's very hard to get in and out of the village without being caught on camera, which means.
Well, that was sort of the idea.
Yeah, well, the issue I have with it is that not only can, a chief or assistant chief look up a license plate and find out when they have gone past that camera, anyone with access to the system in different departments could potentially access that. So you run into things like, okay, well, a new hire somewhere in Texas, turns out they were dating someone in Mariemont. Let's find out where they are when they were there. It's that kind of stuff that the list making stuff that concerns me most. Of having those full data sets compiled in the first place is an issue for me, but also just not having secure enough access locally.
Well, I know the room in which these computers are located. I mean, I myself almost barely have access to that. No one can walk through this building and basically have access to where these computers are located.
Oh, I'm
So-
talking about officers in other departments or.
So
or
you're talking about an
workers.
officer would be nefarious in some way and wants
Not
to.
necessarily
You mean
nefarious.
an officer in another
Jurisdiction.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
it works is we share data with each other. So like if we have a stolen vehicle, it hits on a camera in Green Township, we would be notified because we exchange information like that. Whereas if Green Township had a vehicle hit in Mariemont, then they would see that. So that's kind of what that information sharing is for.
Yeah, I understand that that's the purpose of it, but.
But you got bad actors. You got bad actors that could.
Occasionally, people, I'm not worried about Mariemont PD having access to this information.
Right.
I'm worried about that sharing it with the larger network of any department. Bad apples happen,
But I mean, if it's kind of to your point, if let's just say, for an example, that Mariemont decided, yeah, this is bad, and we took down. I think we only have 4 cameras active at the moment, or maybe 5. If we took ours down, how does that fix the problem?
Well, it's step one. I would say I don't think that kind of data should be able to be searched by other departments without going through Mariemont's department, if that makes sense.
Well, can I ask a question? Do you have any statistical data on the number of times these systems have been not used for law enforcement purposes?
I don't have statistical data, but I can send you several articles of anecdotal evidence of.
I just think we need to make a database decision.
So, you could talk to Officer Gervasi and find out about the 2-factor authentication and access from outside departments.
Yeah, and Flock is just one tool we use out of many. If somebody wanted to find out where you lived, like if there's a bad actor, they could use any of the.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure what the use case of this system is beyond, if you have someone's license plate number, you can obviously look them up, look up their address, no matter what. So adding that extra threat surface of having this database compiled and connected to the internet is an issue for me.
Isn't the DMV database private? I can't just put in a license plate number and look it up.
Right.
You have to do it because you're authorized to do that.
Yeah. But, this is a question that, not to get too big here, but that democracy has to grapple with constantly, which is privacy versus safety. And it goes too far. There have been clear points in time where, the government's spying on its own citizens, and it's gone too far. And so what is that balance that you're asking about, and how far and what? I think these are really good questions that citizens should ask of their government officials, which is, who has access to this data, right? Does ICE have access to this data? Could they have access to this data? Does the FBI have access? Those are fair questions to ask, because it does involve meaningful violations of privacy, and for us to be thoughtful about it, because we did not have this discussion when they were approved. And so I think it does warrant a further conversation and a talk around privacy and what, if anything, it means. It could be fine,
Would
but
it
it could
be-
also be that it
I-
tilts too far one way.
We can talk about this till the cows come home. Would it be fair to ask the chief to give a report to council on these issues?
Well, as I just said, I think Officer Pisley and myself will obviously talk to the chief about this to try to ascertain, where does Mariemont fit into this equation? What should we be doing, something like that? I mean, I'm sure you understand the intent of the cameras. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
originally,
I'm not
you know.
accusing anyone of nefarious intent.
Right.
My main concern is adding that extra surface that you could be attacked on or have your data compromised on. If it's unnecessary to keeping the people of Mariemont safe, I don't think that needs to exist.
Well, okay, like I said, I'll talk to the chief about that to see, what the potential, for that, type of
Yeah.
data sharing.
Jason, when we have someone speak before council, we ask for their name and their address. Could you give us your?
Oh, he said
address?
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't get,
Got- Okay, and.
I didn't get an
The
address.
other question I have is, are you contacting other communities too? Or are you going around, or just Mariemont?
No, I mean, I'm just starting here.
Yeah.
right?
Okay. no,
Well, can I-
I missed
Just
your,
as
I
a-
missed your address, I'm
Another
sorry.
anecdote, I do know, I'm talking to the chief, there was that whole ring of burglaries,
Still is.
specifically in Indian Hill. And I know that they were able, through the flat cameras, to locate a car in West Virginia and arrest the people who did it. Now, it's cutting the head off a, multi-headed serpent, but,
Yeah, there are use cases. I won't deny that.
yeah. So,
I'm not trying to get pitchforks or anything out. I'm just expressing my concern.
Sure.
Well, and I'm not hearing you say that it's not valuable. It's just a question of who has access to the data. And that's a question I think that
It's a
we should
legitimate
ask.
question.
We didn't ask that when we approved it. Who can access that data and how can they? So I think that's a reasonable question to ask.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
He didn't give us an
Oh,
address.
Did you have your address, sir?
I mean,
6739? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Karen Fallon. I'm a business owner in Old Town Center, 3909 Oak Street. Everybody I know here,
I'm Alicia Stock. Hi, nice to meet you.
you guys need to get your website, on our website, contact information is not up yet.
Oh,
Can I?
Thank you.
we can share.
Here tonight, not with a concern or a problem, but with an idea, a concept that we hope you'll pay some attention to or give it some thought. As you know, the Old Town Center has been tucked away, kind of neglected for a long period of time. And a year ago, that whole northeast corner of the buildings there was dark. There was no businesses there at all. And we've worked really hard with the owners of the buildings, and we now have every space filled, and some of my partners are here too. What we've done is we've created this design community. All of our businesses have to do with high-end luxury residential businesses. We've got designers, we've got 2 architects, and we've got 2 showrooms that sell high-end luxury goods to the trade. Cincinnati, having been in this business for 35 years, is really void of a design district where architects, designers, residential designers can bring their customers and clientele in. And we've grown this little tiny secret pocket right there in Mariemont. And we were hoping that we could maybe rebrand that Old Town Center into the Mariemont Design District and continue to have it grow. The design district, the design showrooms downtown in Longworth Hall will be
Yeah.
gone at some point, and in the next 2 years. And I've been in that space 6 years. You've been there 10, right? Dan Cotton's been 7, and we've got 2 more. Well, Kelsey and Laura, which you'll meet tonight. that we just really feel like some attention should, but we also feel like we want to be good partners to the residents that are there. We want to make it look nice. We want some light on it. We want some sun to shine on it. We'd love to change the signage. That little sign that's right there on Oak Street and Worcester that has Old Town Center, easily fixed. We're a very talented group of people. We could contribute to the design of it. We are certainly agreed as collectively as we've met that we would help contribute to the cost. But if it said Mariemont Design District, you're going to have people turning down that corner. You're going to have life on that corner that wasn't there before. That's going to be great for the residents, I think, is in improving that whole area. Whether or not it becomes a mecca, I don't think that's going to be the case. But I do think there's an additional retail position there that could really elevate this community. We also have a new retail establishment. Now, we are not retail that is in those buildings. We're all to the trade. So we're not open for evenings. Designers come in with their clients, and architects have their clients there, but we're not, you can't come in and buy kind of thing, right? So it's not even that kind of, it's a to the trade kind of community.
Yeah.
But there is a new retail business moving in next month in the old firehouse. And that is definitely a retail business that's going to create some parking issues. And I know this council's addressed parking many times before, and it's not an easy answer. I mean, it really isn't an easy answer. But for us as businesses, we're there Monday through Friday, and we got together collectively along with Sunset Properties, who owns those buildings. And there are 8 parking spaces right there in the square that are in front of our businesses. And you can see it on the map that I put there. It's already, the ordinance is already there that its parking is 4-hour parking from 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock, Monday through Friday. The signage is there, the parking's there, and who parks there are people from the apartments that live here up and down the street, and they can stay there for days, right? We're asking.
Well, not continuously, they can't.
Well, they do.
And they might.
They
but
do.
I mean,
it happens.
Yeah.
So it's not enforced.
It's not enforced. It's not enforced. So we're just asking that the signage is there. Could we possibly enforce that ordinance? It's not going to cost anything. You don't have to pass anything. Let's just enforce the ordinance. That'll help us when we have our clients come in. I literally had a client come in that was going to drop some things off, and she wanted to come in and pick out some more things. And she just runs to the door and she said, I can't find a place to park. I'll have to come back another time. Well, that costs me, that's business that we're missing. So if we had that enforced in that little area Monday through Friday, we'd be fine. Now, the next question is what happens to the people in the building, right, that have been parking there for years, unenforced, in like 3 days, 4 days, whatever. Sunset Properties has been a really great partner because we're their tenants too. We pay rent to them just like the apartment dwellers do. And they have absolutely no problem. They have volunteered to send letters to all of their tenants saying this is business parking right in front of these buildings Monday through Friday. So you'll have to park other places. They're willing to do that. They have no problem with that because they want us to do business as well. There's public parking, obviously, at the church. There's no signage there, so signage would be helpful as far as public parking for people. And then behind, if you look at the rudimentary map that I've got here, behind, for the firehouse, where you're going to have retail people coming in and classes being done Monday through Friday, maybe evenings and weekends, they're in front of Mary Bunton Becker Park. That's all public parking. There's about 14 spaces there. Nobody knows it's there. Like 2 little arrows that say there. So that could literally help everybody. I mean, there's a RV there that's been there for months and months back there. It is a place that just.
We've been moving him around.
Well, that's the van, and the van is now moved.
Right, we know,
in front of
we're aware.
Sunset. So there's a lot of that going on, but 14 spaces is a lot during the day. It's empty. And just some signage indicating on lane C and lane B that, there's public parking down there. Just a small arrow. Because behind the firehouse, they only have 3 parking spaces. You cannot access it unless you go all the way into Waldorf and around. And so their employees will be there. That's where they would be. Across the street, which is a lighting distributor, he's got 2 parking spaces right behind him that are just attached to his building with garages. So he doesn't need to be on the street. So the whole plan would be to just, let's make this a welcoming place for clients, customers, especially you've got a new retail business, which we welcome because their clientele is a high-end clientele. And we're looking forward to having those customers of theirs see where we work, see if they need a designer, do they need an architect, do they need products for their home, do they need furniture, all of those things are kind of right there. So those are the basic things we're kind of looking at and would like council to consider. I won't take up any more time right now, but I just wanted to float the idea and to kind of see what everybody thought. I hope that you will give it some consideration. And I'd also like to introduce a few more people that are here from our little Mariemont corner of business over there.
Sure.
Would you, really quickly, before you do that, would you summarize in 3 points what you need in terms of support from this council for this? Parking enforcement,
Parking enforcement,
parking signage, and then a Mariemont design district.
I would like to rebrand it. I mean, we've gotten together collectively in the spring, maybe having an art kind of thing, close off, put a flower cart in, welcome the community, make it fun where people come back down there. We used to have the ice cream socials in the summer. Nobody goes down there anymore.
We could certainly designate it on the website and list the businesses.
And we
Have you
could do
been
an
in contact?
Instagram.
Have you been in contact with the Mariemont Area Chamber of Commerce? Are you?
No, and that's by design.
Okay.
I mean, I'm very well aware, I'm not part of the Chamber of Commerce for the simple reason is my customers, our customers, we're not retail based, so we don't want the community,
Okay. I got
that's
it.
just
I
not
got
how
it. I got
our
it.
business model is.
And then I noticed too, it said you were volunteering to pay for the signage? Did I read that correctly?
Signage on Worcester.
Signage on Worcester.
Yeah, I think we talked about Dan Cotton. His wife is also an architect, and she has a company that does signs. Obviously, we do it within whatever design the village would deem appropriate.
Because we already have signage on Worcester that leads to the barn, that leads to the bell tower.
We don't
So-
even need anything that big.
So-
I mean, it's just coming down there, we just need something that's with an arrow, like it says now Old Town Center. But now we just want to rebrand it. I realize it will take a year or so, but definitely Design Center. So somebody in the community is redoing their house. They see Design Center. They had no idea we're back there or that there's an architect there. And there's also an interior designer back there that are all part of this community. And they could support that. We're real easy to kind of work with. We've got customers that to the trade showrooms. Kelsey Alonso has a showroom there. Fabrics, I have people come in, I've been there 6 years. And I was on the square for 5 years before that. But I'll have residents come in and say, oh, I really like that. I let them in, they come in, they borrow fabric or wall covering or whatever they want. I just don't sell it to them. I say, you know what, this is great. I'm glad you like it for your home, but you'd have to buy it from this designer or this designer, and I'll refer them to someone else. And in this case, I have a designer across the street, I'm gonna refer them to her. So we wanna kind of build that business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we do. There's a lot of sort of semi-complicated issues here, especially with parking. Parking's always been a big issue and a real problem over there, kind of a thing. So, what we can do in terms of trying to limit parking, for certain areas or times of day, we're gonna have to look at that. I mean, you run into, legality issues.
Are they asking
Okay,
for?
so I don't understand,
Yeah.
what is your definition of public parking?
On the street
On
parking.
the street parking, and if there's an ordinance and signage already in place that says 4 hour parking,
Well, that we can enforce, but like I said, and if you want to ask the residents of that apartment building to voluntarily basically not park there through those hours, of course you can do that. But whether or not we can basically put a sign up that says, this is for business parking only, we have to look at that.
Oh, I'm not even asking
I
that.
don't
think
I'm just saying enforce it, you know, and if
Enforce
it
this,
takes a
right.
month to put warning notices on and say, hey, you know, this is being changed.
Yeah.
This is for business
Yeah,
hours, we're trying to grow that. that's fine.
Enforcement's easy, yeah, that part would be
That's what she's-
easy.
That's her proposal. It's
Yeah,
not
I'm not
change.
asking for anything.
Well, then maybe I
beyond that.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
You talked about the residents in the apartment
The
buildings.
residents in the apartments, they need a place to park too.
Yeah,
But
right.
sometimes there's, as you've heard before, people are working from home, their cars sit
Sure.
for a long time. There's other places their cars could sit, I guess, or move it. I mean, it's hard when somebody in the townhome has 3 kids
Mm-hmm.
and 2 of them have cars and both parents have cars. And so it's a complicated issue.
is, yeah.
I'm only concerned about business. Now, we have all collectively agreed as business owners, we will not park in those spaces Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So we're leaving those open. It's real convenient for me to pull up and pop out.
Oh,
let's
sure.
put it that way. But Sunset Properties has an office there. We have all renovated with our own money, investment for those spaces. I don't know if anybody's been by. I know I've never had anybody from council, except for Randy York, come in and see me since I've been there. But we've all put a lot of money into those spaces, and we would just like to support a council to help us lift it up a little bit.
Sure. Sounds like a good idea.
And then I left all the information. Please feel free to reach out to me and let me know if there's anything else you need or if I can help.
I'd like to come over and see it. Did you include your contact information in here? Or?
Just
No,
go in.
I didn't put it in that, but yeah, I think you can reach me. I can certainly email you my contact information.
Would you, at my Mariemont.org address? I'm Lewis at Mariemont.org. Yeah,
It's on the website.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
Well done.
You're next.
I'm Chris Kepis. I'm Karen's work member. I'm an architect. I've been there 9-10 years. I'm just here to support the initiative. Okay.
Oh, great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, hold on, Jim.
staying in the same theme here, I think.
I'm also here to support her initiative.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Laura
get,
Middleton. I'm new on the corner.
You're Dave's daughter.
Yes,
Yeah.
daughter-in-law.
Daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave me the full, right. I'll be over to see you.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Degerberg, and I live on Oak Street. I live right down the street from this wonderful, wonderful, exciting opportunity for the village. I'm also a business owner here. I do own retail space over on the Strand. My address is 3855 Oak Street, and my store address is 6804 Wooster Pike. On behalf of so the Lockharts, Julie and Brad Lockhart could not be here tonight, nor could Cy and Marty Zach, and also Kathy Pack. And we live in the historic houses that lead right from from Wooster Pike up Oak Street to the new design district, as we hope will happen. And we would like to thank Karen and her crew for initiating this really wonderful, exciting opportunity for a business development area in the historic district. It's exciting, it's progressive, it's very positive, and the change to this prime location would be fabulous. We can only hope that you all will take in very strong consideration everything that Karen and her crew are offering, because I think it's I want to say once in a lifetime opportunity, but in my lifetime, this has only happened one time that I've been living here in the village. Also, too, I just wanted to, Karen mentioned about the retail space that is opening in the building, the historic fire station. And it is, I don't know if you all are familiar with Cromholtz Jewelers that have been, they're a old Cincinnati brand jewelers. They've been, I think it's maybe third generation with Lee. And they've been located they were located in Silverton when they first opened, and they've been located in Montgomery for many, many years. And they have rebranded. They are now Cromholtz Vintage Jewelry. They are not selling new jewelry. They're doing all vintage and antique jewelry. And they are moving into that space. It's very exciting, as well as Lee's wife, Heather, has a needlepoint business, and I don't know if y'all are aware, but needlepoint, pickleball, and mahjong are the going things right now. And her business, Jackie O, is already in existence, and she's been working out of their space in Montgomery, which they are vacating. They are opening next month. They have been renovating the space. I mean, this is happening. And so I just think it's really, really important that we as a village welcome these opportunities and welcome these new businesses, because it's kind of what we've been asking for. I know many of you that are new council people had it in your platforms that you wanted to make sure that the historic district was taken care of and that we would raise the bar a bit in what's happening over there. So this is your opportunity to follow through. Thank you.
All right, thank you, thank you.
That's incredible. Now, I just wanted to say, and I've been working, and my priority has been the theater in terms of kind of where the focus is. But this is one, it's just straightforward, easy to read. It is solution-based. Like, I can't even believe it doesn't have a budget item on it. It really is incredible work. So
Yeah,
congratulations
Yep.
and thank you. And I think there are a lot of folks that will want to figure out how to support it.
Well, and also, just keep in mind that Sunset Properties has been so amazing to, I mean, you don't hear that about landlords very
No.
often, but they have been very supportive through all this. What is it that you need? I mean, got an email from Julie today. She couldn't be here tonight because she teaches at UC as well, and she said, I can't be here tonight. If you need me to reach out to council, let them know that we support you. I will send letters to whoever I need to and get in touch with. So it's not just us small business owners, it's landlords of those two big historic properties. And they've got quite an investment in that space.
Yeah, glad to hear it, really glad.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great idea.
Thank you.
Jim?
I'm Jim Getz, 3900 West Street, and I'm here representing the the Mariemont Parks Advisory Board.
The old job.
The old job. Flip the switch here. And I just have a statement here. The Park Advisory Board is very pleased to hear of the approved appropriation by the U.S. Congress of $936,000 in funding for Mariemont Parks. We appreciate the efforts of Randy York, former council member, for developing the grant request and following it through the legislative process. And we're thankful for Greg Landsman, our congressman, for his support in sponsoring that legislation. I actually had an opportunity this weekend to personally thank Greg and reached out and thanked him for his tireless efforts in getting this through and getting it into the approved and signed bill. The Park Advisory Board respectfully requests that it be directly involved in the specific planning for utilization of this grant funding, and that council consider the recommendations from the board for how we will spend and allocate the funds from this grant. Thank you very much.
Jim, let me comment on that for 1 second. You, of course, the Parks Advisory Board will have involvement in it. I don't know exactly what you mean by directly involved, because all decisions regarding the disposition of funds and the projects and so on and so forth will be handled through the Parks and Rec Committee, which Mr. Ayer is chair of.
Health and Rec.
Obviously, you can.
It's Health and Rec.
I mean, Health and Rec. Well, I get confused with the TV show. And it really wasn't even that good. He will be basically holding those committee sessions, which of course you can attend and participate in and speak and whatever else you wish to do.
Sure. Well, that's a good point, Mayor, because we'd like to have a better sense. Well, what is it that you want your advisory board to do? We've got 12 highly active and involved park board members who are volunteering their time tirelessly. And when an opportunity comes up like this, I mean, what is the purpose of a park board if not to help advise council on how the money is going to be spent in Mariemont parks? So I understand, and that's why the ordinance is written that we're an independent advisory board, that we do advise the Health and Recreation Commission, as well as the mayor. And so this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for council and the mayor to say, we value the park board, we value the time, and to give us an opportunity to have a voice in $936,000.
No one is doubting basically your sincerity or the Parks Board's, participation in this. However, it's just that, I want to make sure that all voices in Mariemont, get to participate in here, whatever these projects may or may not be. And that is why this will be held in open public meetings, committee meetings that Mr. Ayer will be chairing. So not only you can attend, but anyone else who has an opinion about a project can show up.
I would hope that the park board recommendations would take a little bit more, have a little bit more weight to them, perhaps, since we are your appointed advisory board for these specific reasons. So again, this is an opportunity to tell us as a park board, do you value our work? Do you need a park board? Do you want recommendations? Do you want us to advise and be very, very active in the village, focusing on parks and green spaces? Because telling us that, oh yeah, you can go ahead and attend a committee meeting like anybody else in Mariemont, we can do that without being on the park board or without spending all of our time, not all of our time, but a lot of our time trying to volunteer and give back to the parks. So all I'm saying is that when there's an opportunity for a very, very important process, that you utilize the board that you set up. And if you don't want to, then disband the board. That's all I'm saying. So this is a great,
obviously,
great
I've said
opportunity.
something here that it has offended you in some way.
Oh, no,
All
no.
I'm trying to say basically is, as mayor, I want the most democratic process that we can possibly have, and how this is a very big grant. This is a lot of money. Potentially, it's a lot of projects.
That's
and I
correct.
want to make sure that everybody gets a fair say in this.
I think that's absolutely
you
right.
as the chair of the park board and the park board themselves, of course, you're going to have opinions based on your thoughts and expertise in parks and so on and so forth. And we're going to listen to that.
All I'm asking for is acknowledgement that you've set up a park board for some reason and ask us to spend a lot of time to look at these issues, to do vision planning for all of our parks, for volunteering endless hours in maintenance of our parks.
Right.
All I'm saying is that I would like acknowledgement that that's why you have a park board.
Well, and that effort has significant sway in the conversation because you're spending so much time assessing the parks. Whereas as a citizen not on the park board, I may know one or two parks. You have intimate knowledge of the needs of all the parks, discuss them regularly, maintain them regularly. And so in that respect, it's similar to, right, there are experts that you're going to wait there, and then there are folks that maybe have a good opinion, say about their loved one's health, but a doctor probably has a little more understanding, and I'm sitting next to a doctor, so I want to be respectful. So I do think the Parks Advisory Board input should be weighted and and I think that's easy to say. I also think, I will say there's probably that you have priorities that should be voiced, and I think are certainly priorities that I've heard and support around, especially around the concourse. And I think those things, if they're aired, I think that it's just a respectful conversation. But the park boards, the hours you have put in, the commitment you have made, the expertise you bring to the table, to me, warrants a very clear message of, yes, you will have input and sway in the conversation.
I would like to make a point that this council has listened to all the boards. If you look at the pool board,
Yep.
they've had tremendous input in how we're setting the rates, how we're doing this, how we're doing this. So they get an awful lot of input, but that doesn't mean everything they say is going to be approved. I think that's all Bill is trying to say.
Well, and I also think it's really important, and I would hope it would be one of your recommendations, is to have some community-wide meetings so residents can come and say, because it is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of needs. And, you know, it's just like in any budgeting, you're gonna have to set priorities.
Yeah.
So I would hope that part of your recommendation would be to have some, you know, really well communicated, community-wide meetings so people can have a say.
Hopefully in combination with Matt.
Oh, absolutely.
Matt and the
Well,
rest
I
of the
just-
committee.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
hey, Jim, a comment that I have, I've lived here a little over 38 years, and
Thanks.
we have never before had a Parks Advisory Board that has the depth and the breadth of knowledge and the bench strength and everything that you guys have. And I just want to assure you that when you come in here and you present your opinions and you show us what you've looked at and what you think the priorities should be, that I personally will weight that very, very highly.
Appreciate that.
And I think, Jim, I also want to thank you very much for your effort on the park board and also for all of your volunteers. I echo what Matt and Susan and everyone else has said. We certainly value your input. I think I just wanted to make a comment on what Bob said. Bob said that the council does weigh our board volunteers and their opinions very highly. I think if I was on the pool board prior to being on council, and if I had been told, well, you can just come to a health and rec committee meeting like everyone else, and not asked that the pool board please, you know, discuss this and kind of give us some parameters and ask the pool board to then come to a very specific open public meeting to give a recommendation, I probably would have been a little bit offended as well. So
That's
I just want to let you know, I
Thank
hear
you.
where you're coming from. I also hear where you're coming from, Mayor Brown. But I think perhaps what I'm hearing you say, Jim, is that you want the park board to be asked to give a recommendation at one of these meetings. Is
Yes,
that what
we'd
I'm
like to
hearing?
be at the table when we're talking about these
Yes.
things.
Okay, I understand.
And again, that's part of why the board, I thought, was established, so that's
I agree. I mean, we're going to hear your recommendation, of course. I mean, I didn't mean to imply that we would not be listening to a recommendation that you would make.
Well, yeah, I'm reacting to your comment, and Alicia heard as well, that, yeah, we appreciate the park board, just go to a committee meeting and join in with everybody else. I would just like acknowledgement
Sure.
that this board spends a lot of time volunteer, and when a significant issue comes before the village and the council and the mayor, get the advice, you seek from the board you put in place to provide you with advice and recommendations. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Jim, haven't I been at most of your meetings?
You've been at quite a few, yes.
And why do I do that? I do that.
I don't know,
because-
and that's why I'm very surprised
I
when
do
you
that
reacted
because I
I'm
wanna-
surprised when I asked that we be included, you said, well, let me make it clear, you can go to any meeting that
Well,
they have.
Again, I was speaking basically from trying to I have to represent everyone in this village. Every voice in this village has great weight and significance to me. And that's all I was trying to say. Now, if you took it to mean that somehow, you know, I was putting you down with the common folk or something like that, we weren't going to listen to your opinions, that's not what I was saying.
Well, thank you for the clarification then. Thank you.
All right. See you at the next meeting.
Would love to have you. Thank you.
All right, anybody else?
Speak just very
Sure.
quickly, and I want to say, relative to the theater piece, I really do, I think it takes a lot for citizens and residents to come and speak up, so I want to acknowledge that. I do want to say, relative to curation first, I'm very proud that the Mariemont Theater announcement was in every major news outlet locally and regionally, and that tonight was the first negative piece of feedback I have heard. And I mean, thousands, if not millions of eyeballs have been put on this. So I want to be clear about Independent's reputation in the community. We would have heard, and I would have heard otherwise, given the eyeballs that were on those stories. Secondarily, I wear many hats. As many of you guys know, I run an organization. That organization co-founded the region's largest film festival, the Over the Rhine International Film Festival. And we employed really one of the region's most respected curators, TT, who passed suddenly in September, but was nationally celebrated on a number of boards, including the independent independent cinemas. He was on that national board. He was also, and I'm getting that wrong, but it's the Independent Cinema Board. And then the critics, he was helped select Critic Choice Awards. He was a very, very well-respected curator who was extremely excited about partnering with Independent, and really, long story short, I think relative to curation, Independent has an incredible reputation across the community, and I do expect dissent, nothing without dissent, and I respect that dissent. So I don't want to dishonor that, but I do want to be very, very clear that we are dealing with an extremely reputable operator who I know and have worked with for many years, and who is well respected in the in particular amongst curators who have and continue to have recognition here and nationally.
Anyone else?
I guess the only thing I would add to that is that, this is a decision made by a private business. I mean, the council was involved and informed and supportive, but it wasn't our decision to make.
Well said.
So.
Poor Mandy.
I will be very quick. I am Mandy Beecroft with the Public Library. A few events coming up. We have a Valentine printmaking workshop coming up on Wednesday for all ages. We have our parent-child book club starting up on Wednesday the 18th at 6:30, and that's going to be a monthly program starting this month. And then we also have for adults a microgreens and sprouts program. That's going to be presented by the Hamilton County Conservation District. So walking people through how to grow their own microgreens and sprouts in their own home, and giving people packets to leave with to kind of get them started. So
Good.
that's it.
Good, thank you, thank you. Anybody else? No. Matt, I want to take a minute here. Matt has sort of some information regarding this grant that the village has just received. I know Jim and I were touching on it, and others here. He has some clarifying information, I believe.
Yeah, I'm just going to read this. Last week, the Village of Mariemont received notification that the Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2026 was signed by President Trump. This appropriations package includes the $936,000 community project funding for the Mariemont Centennial Parks Improvement Project. The funding is earmarked and will be available from a federal agency. Over the next several weeks, the village will receive instructions from the appropriate agency who will administer these funds, with instructions and timing on how to apply and receive the funding. As far as we can tell, this is the largest award for the village since Isabella Hopkins donated the bell tower in 1929. We think it's kind of a generational, perhaps, gift that the village is receiving. It puts Village Council over $4 million in outside money raised over the past 4 years. It provides adequate funding to complete all of the Centennial projects. With this, the big and bold vision of the Centennial Committee can be realized. We want to acknowledge and thank Congressman Landsman, his aide Chris Dalton, and his new aide Jack Leininger, and all of Team Landsman for their perseverance throughout this process and their unwavering support of the village. Thank you to the 9 village organizations who wrote letters of support. Thank you to State Senator, the Cincinnati, especially former State Representative Cedric Denson, and the Hamilton County Commissioners for their letters of support, as well as their generous assistance and guidance. Finally, thank you to the village organizations who have specifically contributed to the overall vision and planning for these village assets, the Mariemont Recreation Association and the Preschool Parents Group for their contributions to Dogwood Park, the Mariemont Preservation Foundation for their work on Dale Park, and the Garden Club of Mariemont for their efforts toward repurposing Hopkins Park. And then the only other thing, as our mayor mentioned, is the details will be forthcoming. And for example, first thing is that they're going to assign this to an agency, but we are keeping in contact on a regular, multiple times a week basis with Landsman's office, and as information becomes available, it'll be shared with all of council and the community.
Yeah, yeah. It's fantastic news, obviously. It's a big sum of money, and it's going to allow us, to go ahead and think about some, projects that maybe we couldn't, do as little as, 2 weeks ago. But we don't have all the details yet, so we don't want to get off into the weeds, talking about what it may mean in specifics. As Matt just said, basically, as those details begin to trickle in, obviously, we'll be making everyone, aware and how it's going to proceed and projects and so on and so forth.
Is there a Village of Mariemont letterhead that we could do thank yous on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, I'll pop in, Jenny.
All right.
That is a lot of people to thank. It's incredible.
It is.
What incredible.
Yeah, it is. All right. All right, let's pay some bills. Any question regarding the bills?
No.
No? Really?
Pay 'em.
All right, motion and a second to pay the bills.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Air.
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Stock.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mrs. Wells.
Aye.
All right, let's pay those bills. All right, we do have a couple of committee reports here. The first one being finance, I guess, right, Bob?
If you say so.
I believe so.
Give me your head.
Yes.
The Finance Committee met on January 30th, 2026 at 11:07 a.m. In attendance were Committee Chairperson Bob Vanstone, Committee Member Alicia Stock, Mayor Bill Brown, Fiscal Officer Kelly Rankin, Chief Rick Hines, Assistant Chief Dan Copeland, and Captain Jason Williams. The sole agenda item was the purchase of a fire department vehicle for Assistant Chief Copeland. Chief Hines led a discussion concerning the purchase and outfitting of the vehicle. He reported that he found a 2025 Chevrolet Tahoe priced at $51,000, which is currently on hold at the dealership pending a council decision. This will be significantly lower than the price for a 2026 model. The outfitting cost should not exceed $12,000. The combined vehicle purchase and outfitting cost of $63,000 could be funded with $35,000 previously appropriated in the 2026 capital improvement budget and $20,000 from the EMS account. Mrs. Rankin agreed with this funding approach. The committee unanimously voted to approve the purchase of said vehicle with a cost not to exceed $63,000. The meeting was adjourned at 11:28, signed by myself and Alicia Stock.
Can I have that?
All right, you've heard the report. Do we have any questions? It's kind of straightforward. We're going to be buying a 2025 Tahoe for the fire department.
I changed my mind.
What color?
He's not even
Fire
reacting.
engine red.
Whatever the state buys.
Does it have XM radio?
Right. So, move to accept the report?
Yeah, a motion and a second to accept the
So
report.
moved.
Second.
Second, Mr. Air.
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Hey, Ed, I am on the committee, but I missed the meeting, but as a council person, can I still vote to accept the report?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, aye. Just making sure.
Yeah. Mrs. Stock.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mrs. Wells.
Aye.
All right. Has everyone signed it?
And that can come off.
Did you get it signed?
Yes, I have it.
All right, Alicia, looks like you're up.
All right. The Safety Committee met on Friday, January 30th, 2026 at 10 a.m. in the Municipal Building. Present were Safety Committee members Alicia Stock, Chair, Matthew Ayer, Member, and Bob Van Stone, Member. Mayor Bill Brown, Chief Hines, Lieutenant Nick Pitsley, IT Consultant Mike Manfert, Senior Administrative Assistant Joni Van Pelt, and Administrative Assistant Allison Urig. Am I saying her name right? Urig, thank you. Agenda item 1, security cameras. The Safety Committee, Chief Hines, Mayor Brown, and Village Administrative Employees Joni Van Pelt and Allison Urig discussed the request for enhanced security at the municipal building. Chief Hines and the Mariemont Police Department consider the building upgrades essential for the security and safety of village employees. The committee reviewed quotes from Dial 1 Security and Johnson Controls, with the former offering more favorable pricing. The committee also reviewed a quote from Dial 1 Security for cameras at the Carillon, which are required based on inclusion in the LWCF grant for the Dogwood Park renovation project and prior negotiations with the Thomas J. Emery Memorial to secure the bell tower. The Safety Committee agreed to reconvene after the following quotes are obtained. IT consultant Mike Manford will attempt to negotiate more favorable pricing with Dial 1 Security for a 3-year minimum service plan on all 3 quotes: municipal building access control, municipal building video intercom, and Dogwood Park bell tower and camera system. Village engineer Chris Ertel is working to get a quote from Alta Fiber for the corresponding Wi-Fi installation at Dogwood Park. Agenda item 2, crosswalk safety. The Safety Committee, Chief Hines and Mayor Brown discussed resident safety concerns about multiple crosswalks in the village, including the inconsistency of school crossing guards at the intersection of West Street and Madisonville Road. Chief Hines explained that filling crossing guard roles has been problematic due to the fragmented hours and exposure to weather conditions. Chief Hines and Mayor Brown agreed to approach the elementary school administration about providing training and funding for school staff members to fill crossing guard roles. Alicia will reach out to the village engineer, Chris Ertel, to determine pricing for a traffic study of the village square that meets ODOT requirements, including the crosswalks by the elementary school. Alicia will also research potential grant funding for a crosswalk safety lighting. The meeting adjourned at 11:03 a.m. Respectfully submitted, Alicia Stock, Matt Ayer, and Bob Van Stone.
I need the, is the sign, is the client?
It is signed.
Okay, you've heard the report. Any questions?
Thank you.
I move to accept the report.
Made contact yet?
Chris is working on the
Working
quote,
on it.
yes,
Okay.
and Mike is also, but no decisions have been
Yeah,
made.
okay, okay.
Second.
Second, Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Stock.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mrs. Wells.
Aye.
All right. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Lila, Public Works, it looks like, huh?
Okay. Public Works and Service Committee met on February 2nd at 5 p.m. In attendance were the committee chairperson, myself, committee members Susan Brown Knight, sorry,
Close.
and Bob Van Stone, Mayor Brown, village engineer Chris Ertel, and fiscal officer Kelly Rankin. First on the agenda, Mr. Ertel presented his 2026 street rehabilitation project, which included recommended streets for resurfacing this year and estimated cost. He also gave the committee his written 2025 Mariemont pavement condition report. Per Mr. Ertel's report, West Street has received a grant from the Ohio Public Works Commission, OPWC, for 44% of the project cost, up to $88,000. The village will be informed in May by OPWC if the pending applications for the other 3 streets will be awarded. After discussion, a motion was given by Bob Van Stone, seconded by Susan Brown Knight, to approve Mr. Ertel's recommendations to get bids for his street rehabilitation plan. The motion was approved unanimously and will be presented to council for approval. The second agenda item regarding grants was discussed. As mentioned, there was further discussion regarding the sidewalks and a possible grant Mr. Ertel may consider applying for in May, but nothing was concluded. The meeting was adjourned at 5:35 p.m. Respectively, Lila Wells, Susan, Bob Van Stone.
Is it signed?
All right.
Yeah. Well,
You've heard the report. Any questions?
Thank you.
I know that, you know, at this time of year, when we sort of do a report like this, based on Chris's, estimation of streets and costs and things like that, it's a little hard, at this point in time to make a final determination as to what we're actually going to do until we get the grant information back, correct? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that comes back, you know, we may be able to do more or do less. You know, it's always sort of a unknown kind of a thing. And when do we start to get that information back?
May.
Oh, yeah, in May.
I don't have a date, yes,
Yeah.
it's usually in May.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would it be too early for me to mention, I had to call Ben today. There's a particular area over on Indian View, you know, where Indian View runs into Miami, between, you know where I'm talking about?
Yes.
Would it be possible to have, say, a grind off from Miami just to, say, Hiawatha? And because the potholes and the pavement cracks are so bad in that area, I don't think that any kind of a patch, even a hot patch, is gonna work.
So you just want to mill the surface?
I want to mill the surface, yeah, from Miami, say, back to Hiawatha. You know, that's probably, I don't know, 30 feet or something like that.
So I have some concerns if you don't put anything on top of the milled surface, because I don't.
Oh, no. I mean, I want to mill it, and then.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
obviously, yeah, of
Good.
course, blacktop over.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
What is milling?
Grind, to grind it off.
So the typical rehabilitation process for our streets is we grind off 2 inches of the existing material and then put 2 inches back.
Okay.
So that's, I was concerned it was just going to be a milling operation,
Yeah.
which would leave it.
That's called speed control.
Yes. So yes, if you would like to add that block of
I would
Indian
like
View.
to add that block if possible, because like I
Understood.
said, is so bad that, and they've already cold patched it. They're now out of cold patch. There are chunks of pavement, you know, that are really coming up. In fact, I'm not even sure milling down 2 inches is going to be
Enough.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a determination that can be made by those guys. But if we could add that in, you know,
Be
as
happy to.
as a more adequate, longer-term fix, it would be great.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, Chris.
Can do.
I just want to thank you for running all the numbers that you did and calculating the weighted average and as far as the rating, and also you calculated the average life, the weighted average life of a street. Would you mind I think it's really informative, would you mind commenting on where we are and where that stands?
So
among
there was a
other
discussion,
communities?
yeah, last year as far as how often do we resurface our roads and other municipalities in Cincinnati. So most streets in the city of Cincinnati don't get resurfaced until 20 or 25 years. For the village of Mariemont, we're going to take out Worcester Pike because that's maintained by the state of Ohio. So the average time that we resurface our streets is about 17 years. And then if you do the average weighted life, which is based on the area, it goes even lower to 14 years. So as far as how often we resurface our streets, we're one of the better neighborhoods or better municipalities in the southern state of Ohio. So we're doing good.
Yeah, that's good to know.
I'd just like to make a suggestion that if I go back and look at your street pavement ratings historically, back in the years of 2000 to 2002, we had a weighted rating of 3.3. In 2007 and 2010, we had a rating of 3.1. I think our goal should be to get what you gave for last year, 2.8, up to 3, not talk about the number of streets that need repaved, et cetera, but to get this rating up to the 3 level. I wrote on my notes here, the 3.3 of the earlier time should be the gold standard. The 3.1, whatever we are now, you can call it, see fit.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I ask, where in our conversation do we have a discussion about what we are going to have? It's just going to be so much worse this year, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it's going to be, the streets are just going to be so bad.
Yeah.
Is that conversation had to figure out if we have enough appropriated to do all the potholes?
Well, you and I kind of had this
Yeah.
discussion, and, you know, like this particular spot that I just referenced
Yeah.
over in Indian View. I mean, it sort of is going to be sort of a thing of, you know, observation. I mean, we're just going to have to sort of, you know, when the weather changes, the warmer weather comes in, so on and so forth, just to make an assessment, just how bad are they? I mean, and where are they? You
How
know?
does it work? Do we need to appropriate? Should we figure out how to appropriate more money beforehand so we can move faster on them? Or, I don't know how it works.
Well, I think, I mean, if we needed to appropriate, let's say it's really bad, and we made a determination, and we're gonna have to do more mill work and more, you
Yeah.
know, bigger patches and all, and we're gonna need more money for that, let's just say. I would think, I mean,
You guys, it's up to you how the money gets
At
appropriated.
that point in time, we would just appropriate more money to do it.
It wouldn't slow it down that we have to jump through those hoops at that time.
Oh, that's a question for Chris. I mean, if we like add stuff, we're like, oh, well, we gotta do this, and then we add this to the bid. I mean, it's gotta, you're at the disadvantage of like, so I know you wanna go out early to
Yeah.
get good pricing, and then all of a sudden in May, we're like, oh, let's add this. You know, you're at the mercy of the contractor. It's like, oh, okay.
Right.
It's
I
gonna
have to
cost
wait.
you more than I would have bid you in January.
Right. So it's a timing thing, right? When are the streets going to be available for us to look at and assess on how bad they are? And then what do we add while we're going through the process? So we can add more streets now like we did with Indian View and get a bid and then see what happens as far as, okay, it's $600,000. We've only have $500,000. We take something off the list.
And take
Or we-
grants into consideration if we're confident
Right.
that we're gonna get them.
Right? Or we bid out what we've got here, and then as things pop, we go to the contractor and say, I need a price order. So
So we more to appropriate as needed.
However, 2 years ago, I did Patriot Lane, and the price was very good. I thought it was a very good price. And then we added, was it Harvard or Park?
Park.
we added Park Lane
I
to the
couldn't remember
Harvard
which of the two.
work. Yeah.
We added that, and we got a very good price there. So I do not think we're at a disadvantage of waiting to see what grants come in, see how far we can stretch those dollars, then we have some decisions to make.
Well, but
I
also
would
wait and see
definitely
how
defer
many,
to
how
Chris
many
on that.
potholes are actually out
I
there.
understand.
Because some, like what I'm proposing that's gonna be added on Indian View, that's not like, we're not adding an entire street. I mean, you know, that's a mill off and a repave of, say, 30 feet. And that would.
It's a very short segment. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you had to add, say, 3 or 4 or 5 of those, depending on what's out there, I don't see the contractor like, I mean, I'm sure he's gonna charge us for it, but I don't think he's gonna say, oh, well, hell, I can't get to that now. Probably he could. You think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoever, yes. The contract that we've
But-
had in the last decade has always been really
Yeah.
accommodating for us.
Just
to-
like they were able to accommodate in another entire street.
Another part, yeah, we did another contract for
Right.
Patriots Park, but then we did a change order to add Park Lane.
Yeah.
And it was all in the bid prices that we got in May.
Right, right.
So
So,
to Kelly's original question, you're comfortable then waiting for the snow to melt, things to warm, assess, and then go forward, and we should be okay if we have
yeah, I would rather bid
potholes
out,
that exceed our current appropriation.
yeah, I'd rather bid out what we've got here tonight, get a
Yeah.
price, and then if we need to add a street, we can add a street, because I think he's gonna keep the same pricing he had in February, as opposed to waiting until we bid it out in May, when all the prices are gonna come up because everybody's booked.
Right.
Okay, Chris, I have one more question, sorry. I've been waiting patiently. So, in the report, Lila mentioned that there were 3 other streets that you were hoping to get a grant for.
Yeah,
And would that be at the same level of, where they would pay 44% of the
Yes.
project?
Yes.
The village would be for the rest, yeah.
yeah, it's depending on the bid prices we get and then actually how much work is
56.
performed. Yeah, but each one has the same, they were all about $200,000 as a grant, and they'd all be at that 44%,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Motion to accept the report?
You know, I agree with you. It's just a little, it does seem a little loosey-goosey, you know what I mean? You know, we don't know how much damage we got, we want to have enough money, but, you know, how much do we allocate, how much, you know, it's just one of those things that I think you have to sort of roll with and make determinations when you can actually make them.
Well, you've been through this, I have not.
And, I mean,
Chris has been through it many more times. than
yeah, he's been through it way more than I have.
Susan moved. Who's the second?
Do we have to amend this report to include Indian View?
I don't think so.
No, we don't have to. It's just something he can stick on there.
We do have legislation coming up. We could probably amend the legislation to add that
Oh, there
street.
you
We have the
go.
report right
Let's
there.
do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just-
Yeah, okay.
I was-
So
but-
moved.
Do we have legislation coming later tonight? Oh,
And
we do,
she's
okay.
moved twice.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. On the second reading.
Yes. All right, all right.
Okay,
Okay,
there-
a motion is second. I think we already have it, I think. Were you, is that what your second was? To accept this report?
So moved.
Mr. Okay,
Now,
Mr.
Susan's
Hare.
had to move a few times.
Mrs. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Stock.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mrs. Wells.
Aye.
All right. Miscellaneous, February the 23rd. Well, okay, guys, that is going to be the council, and it's going to start at 6 o'clock. County Auditor Jessica Miranda regarding property tax relief services. Again, that'll be at 6 o'clock here before the regular meeting, so that we're all clear. Nominations for Outstanding Citizen of the Year are due by March the 10th to Mrs. Van Pelt. Village offices will be closed in observation of President's Day, Monday, February the 16th. All right, moving on to resolutions.
Ready?
Bear with me on this. We do have a bunch. Yeah, I'm ready. Yes, go.
All right, this is the first reading to confirm the reappointment of Christopher M. Ertl as village engineer for calendar year 2026 and to set compensation.
All right, first reading, second reading next time.
To confirm the reappointment of village zoning officer Rod Holloway for calendar year 2026 and to set compensation.
First reading, second reading next time.
To confirm the reappointment of Kelly I. Rankin as village fiscal officer and to establish pay rate. It's a first reading.
First reading,
Go
second.
right ahead.
Second reading next week. I hope to have a lot of discussion.
This is a first reading to appoint Maggie Kenner and Richard L. Kay as a member of the Pool Commission for the calendar years 2026 and 2027.
Okay, and I did speak with those guys, and I'm very pleased. Okay, so first reading, second reading next time.
Okay. This is a first reading, resolution to update swimming pool fees for calendar year 2026 and to declare emergency.
All right, that was the first reading. I need a motion and a second to suspend the rules and allow for the second and third reading.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis. Mrs. Stock.
Aye.
Okay, I'm trying to move it along here.
Aye.
Mr. Vanstone and Mrs. Wells.
Aye.
Second reading, please.
Resolution to update swimming pool fees for calendar year 2026 and to declare emergency.
Okay, that was the second reading. Any discussion? No. May we have the third
So
reading?
moved.
Resolution
yet.
to update swimming pool fees for calendar year 2026 and to declare emergency.
All right, a motion and a second to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Stock.
Aye.
Mr. Vanstone.
Aye.
Mrs. Wells.
Aye.
All right, a motion and a second to evoke the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Stock.
Aye.
Mr. Vanstone.
Aye.
Mrs. Wells.
Aye.
All right.
Okay, this is a first reading, resolution adopting cybersecurity policy for village.
All right, we've had the first reading, a motion and a second to suspend the rules and
No.
allow for the second and third.
Is that
No,
for that?
no, that's just a,
Oh, last
We don't
one.
need that.
No, we don't.
We need that by July.
it's just a first reading.
Squeaked in the middle.
Yep.
Sorry about
Okay.
that.
All right, this is a first reading to authorize the solicitor 2026 and to declare emergency.
All right. We've had the first reading. Now I need that motion and a second to suspend the rules to suspend the rules and allow for the second, third reading.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Stock.
Aye.
Mr. Vanstone.
Aye.
Mrs. Wells.
Aye.
May we
To-
have the second reading?
To authorize the solicitation of bids for 2026 street repairs and to declare emergency.
All right, that's the second reading. Any discussion? I think,
We have to
We
amend.
need to amend.
Yeah.
The amendment,
We have to
Okay.
amend to Indian, yeah, the
right.
Indian View and
Miami.
Well, somebody,
motion to amend.
motion
Wait,
to,
wait.
we need a motion to amend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The legislation.
Indian View
Include
Avenue
Indian View.
from Miami to Hiawatha.
Yes.
Right, there you
Yeah.
go.
What he said.
What he said.
Motion to, what,
Do what he said.
To
I had that written.
to do a simple mill and repatch.
No, what is it again? Motion to,
Amend.
Mill and
Amend.
repave.
Yeah, motion to amend to add Indian View Avenue from Miami to Hiawatha as a grind and resurface.
Yes, yes. All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Or do I even have a first?
oh, that was my motion?
Oh, that was your,
Yep.
that was your motion. Okay. Mr.
Tag team
Aye.
effort.
Mrs. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Stock.
Aye.
Mr. Vanstone.
Aye.
Mrs. Wells.
Aye.
All right, now. Reading.
To authorize the solicitation of bids for 2026 street declare emergency.
All right, a motion and a second to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Air.
Aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Stock.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mrs. Wells.
Aye.
Motion and a second to evoke the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Air.
Aye.
Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Stock.
Aye.
Mr. Van Stone.
Aye.
Mrs. Wells.
Aye.
All right.
All right. This is a first reading to repeal ordinance number 0625 pertaining to maximum pay rates for all grades of recreation employees and to enact new legislation pertaining to maximum pay rates for all grades of recreation employees.
All right, that was the first reading. We'll have the second reading next week or in 2 weeks.
This is the first reading to amend ordinance 0925 of the Mariemont Code of Ordinances to increase payment for employees.
All right. That's the first reading, second reading, 2 weeks.
Go.
If one person raises their hand, it's got to be the end.
I was just had the paperclip on.
Okay. We're adjourned.
I think that's witness intimidation.